to the Cinementalists. Noun, plural. Definition, those whose love for movies runs so deep, they can't help but do a podcast about them. Hosted by Colton Robertson and Joseph George. Hello everybody and welcome in to the Cinementalists. Today we conclude our coverage in Black History Month with Sorry to Bother You. It was released on July 13th, 2018, written and directed by Boots Riley. I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. We've got a nice little morning episode we're getting in this week, and ironically, because I have to go to work. Yeah. So this was a first viewing for you. How'd you feel about Sorry to Bother You?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it just kind of kept getting a little crazier and crazier as time went on. In a good way, I think, for me, definitely. I was very satisfied with what I thought the movie was at the beginning, and then it kind of unfolded a little bit, and I'm like, ooh, wow, this is where it's going. Cool, I love it. And then it's like, oh, now we're horse people, and so yeah. But I loved every step along the way, and I think it, I don't know, you can go for. It's very on the nose while also being so extreme and unrealistic, and but it's very it is very real at the same time.
It's a satire, and whenever you are doing satire, you're allowed to point things out and go, "Isn't this fucking stupid?" And that's what Sorry to Bother You does really, really well. I think that it's aging really, really well, which is fucking awful. That's not good. But it's razor sharp, dude. Like the script is so on point. Every step of the way, you feel like every little joke they get in, it just hits right. Lakeith Stanfield, I love Lakeith Stanfield. I'm a big Lakeith Stanfield fan, and you would have previously seen him in Get Out, obviously. But Atlanta, the TV show with Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, he's a big part of that, along with Brian Tyree Henry. They're the big three in that show. So very, very good cast. Very, very worth your time. But Tessa Thompson, obviously, also a big role in this, who we love from Westworld. And the other notable role, I mean, Stephen Yeun, who was even in this project earlier, and Nope. But the other one is Armie Hammer, playing Steve Lift. And we've talked about Armie Hammer before because he was in The Social Network, and he played the twins that are in The Social Network. This is the dude who got kind of ousted from Hollywood for being a fucking cannibal, like a couple years later after this.
My God.
It's like Armie Hammer playing Armie Hammer a little bit, but
wow, that's crazy. Well, I guess this role was a little, not cannibal, but in a similar vein. I don't know, just treating humans.
It's just treating humans like nothing. Well, and that's the other thing too, is that I won't dive into the cannibalism charges by any stretch of the imagination, but it wasn't like he was like, well, I'm gonna just kill people so that I can eat their bodies later on. It wasn't quite so Hannibal Lecter as that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but
wow, that's any spectrum. I don't know if there's a wide spectrum of cannibal.
It's not great.
It's just a weird.
If you're eating
vibe.
parts of people, if you're like, just a little snack, not good.
Is it
not good?
I mean, is it just a health benefit thing? Is that even possible? I thought it's only detrimental.
I'm pretty sure it was a kink thing, which is even more weird. But
that makes him an easy villain. I mean, see him even.
Oh, and what sucks is that he's really, really good in it. Like, he's so good in this movie.
Man.
But
wow.
But that's the thing, is that it's also easy to spotlight a few other performers because they're Lakeith Stanfield does an incredible job at I mean, hitting a full spectrum of rage and joy
Mm.
and nihilism and sadness.
Mm-hmm.
It's he does a great job here, but yeah, it's obviously not a subtle class commentary.
Mm.
A little bit of
Mm-hmm.
a propaganda piece for unionizing, which is good. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Stephen Yoon, workforce leader sort of role that he takes on,
Mm.
and I appreciate Tessa Thompson being a revolutionary, being part of the Left Eye gang and all that stuff.
Yup.
It's good. I dig it.
Yup. Good old Left Eye. And is that the point of the eye patch? Is this like is this dude even need? I don't even know his name. Mr. Boop Beep. What do we?
Uh
How do we refer to this man? The just Mister.
I would go Mr. Beep. Yeah,
Mr.
Mr.
Beep.
Beep is okay.
Yeah. Mr. Beep, is this his anti-protest movement to wear the eye
Interesting,
patch,
because it
or
is over his left eye.
mhm,
Yeah.
or is that how the protests started? They're like, no, we're gonna put the black under the eye. I thought it was gonna be, I don't know, touched on, but I don't know.
That's
It was
interesting.
just
That didn't even occur to me, but that is
mm,
interesting.
mhm.
I
I
didn't
mean,
consider that.
after the horses kind of popped up, and it was just getting deeper, I was like, whoa. I'm like, what is this turning into some weird, I don't know, like crazed ending that was going to be all I don't know how. It had me theorizing for a little bit, which is
Hmm.
always a good mind zone for me to enter. I love whenever I can get in there a little bit, but no, I think I kind of realized, like, while watching this, that the more satirical you can and out and crazed of a movie you can make on such a real topic, and it translates so well. Like, it's like, well, maybe we know we got a problem here. Like, I think it makes it even more clear. Like, it's like
Yeah.
if this movie was completely serious in tone and it was not comedic whatsoever and just took the life of an actual worker, and even if they got to a protest, and they, I don't know, got there, I feel like this kind of hits in a different way. Like, it's like you can make fun of it while also, like, I don't know, like
I
it's
think
it's
it
this weird
treats.
middle ground.
I saw a great post about, ironically, Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us."
Mm,
That was like,
okay.
that said that there's too many people who take, and don't get me wrong, they are to be taken seriously, but whiny bitch babies like a few of the people in power,
Mm, mm-hmm.
like Trump and Elon, and it's something that Kendrick Lamar, that they just kind of treat them like, with kid gloves a little bit. It's like, oh
Mm,
well, they shouldn't be there. We know they shouldn't be there, but we're gonna fucking deal with it. But Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us took a whole other version of Bitch Baby and Drake and was like, you are a bitch baby, like
mm-hmm.
fuck yourself, okay? And that's why it resonated with people. I think that's why a movie with this tone can resonate. Like, if you do take it seriously, if it
Mm,
is taken seriously, it's a drama, and it's a workplace drama, and it's
mm-hmm.
about, it would be a different thing completely. It calls attention how fucking stupid these practices are.
Mm,
Like,
yeah.
how, oh my god, this is real, like, and obviously not all of it. We're not getting turned into horses, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
But
Hopefully not.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
I
like
don't.
livable wages, jobs where you work only on
Mm-hmm.
commission, the need to unionize in a workplace where you're being abused, and that false allure of, like, maybe you can make it upstairs to power caller and all that good stuff. Now, obviously,
Mm,
uh, Cassius Green was a little bit better at his job, in the telemarketing game. He finally found that thing he was good at, so he actually was able to ascend the ranks.
mm-hmm.
But they only let him ascend the ranks once the unionizing came. Like, they were like, okay, we're
Yeah.
gonna, yeah, and that's purposeful. That wasn't just well, this just weird timing. No, like, they wanted to instill a schism in their ranks. So they were
Mm-hmm.
like, let's elevate
Versus
you. Now we've
them.
got one of their more important
Mm-hmm.
members being a scab. Like, that is 100% why they did that.
Oh,
Um,
shit. Was this? Did they know that this strike was going to happen? Did they plan for? No, no way they could have planned for him to be like like, I'm thinking at the end, whenever they're like wanting Cassius to be the plant MLK or the pre, everything. Was this
The
already
fact that
done
you can talk about
before?
this movie and say plant MLK and it's like an
Yeah.
actual thing that means something is hysterical, by the way.
Which is like the protests that we have in real life. Like they are real, right? Like we're actually like fighting for a real cause, and we're not just having the evil people incite them in the first place to. I don't. It got me to be like, man, in kind of Twin Peaks mode, kind of the evil exists, and all these thoughts flowing through the head. But no, at least in this way, it channels it in a much funnier way. It's not like as
Right.
doomist, or I'm not as I don't know. It's a lot happier to think about it during this movie, I guess. But still,
Right.
kind of the same result. I love that it's like the idea of working together, like to unionize, is just wrong. It's like that they I don't know in this staff meeting they had, whenever
Oh my God.
who's that one dude?
Dina or oh yeah, I mean like when he's
And
like the body, you bag it and you tag it.
this,
Sometimes you drag the body back out into the alley and you tag. And I feel like the metaphors are getting all mixed up here. But
yeah,
I loved
but
the chick who's in that scene though. She is so fucking
yes.
funny.
Hmm.
We're not you're not just my employees. We're a family now. I feel the energy. You feel the energy. Some people are
Yeah.
getting emotional. I love that.
So does that
Like
mean we get paid more? No.
no,
Yeah,
and she like puts it in quotes. Like
no.
that's fucking hysterical,
And
dude.
yeah,
And then
it's
she
like
wants to fuck him later on in the movie. It's just good stuff.
for success. It's all that It's like it's they know what they're doing. Like they're just selling encyclopedias at the end of the day, So like but the joy, like it's like to make a sale, it's not really like the win or the joy that they get from that, or like that Cassius is feeling. It's not really that he sold the encyclopedia or made the sale. It's more of like the social benefit that he gains from just being like if he was doing this alone, not in a cubicle,
No,
completely in
yeah.
his own room, like office, I feel like it would just be like, oh, all right, another sale, like, yay, I did it or whatever. But like, there isn't that reaction that he has, and like, I don't know, that guy, they really get friendly,
That fucking
which
he's
was
bouncing on him and
yeah.
shit.
I mean, wow, that was awesome. It kept
I better get
escalating a
back
little
to
bit.
work, man. Yeah.
It kept like every now and then it would cut back to him, and I'm like, oh wow, they're getting real friendly. And then it got to the point where he's literally bouncing on him, and I'm like,
Hanging
okay,
on
yeah,
him.
they've
Dude,
this is
incredible. Incredible.
but but
It's
it's
so fucking funny.
it's like the slow climb to like the ladder is just almost the more and more disconnected you get. Like you kind of have to reach their level to kind of get up there. And Cassius is kind of in the in between. It's like he's doing it for his situation and like everything, but he does kind of forget the cause and all of his
But
friends. And
that's
everyone
one
for
of
a
the
little bit,
main themes of this movie that I really really dig, which is that capitalism is exploitation. They take advantage of people who need it. This person needs to find a cause. This person needs to
Yeah.
find a purpose. This person needs to support his uncle who's going to lose his house. He needs that, so they let him feed the machine. And that's a recurring thing with the worry-free situation. His uncle is like, I might need to go work at Worry Free. They prey on people who might need to work there, so then all of a sudden they're becoming Equisapiens. Like it's why the art show is one of my favorite sequences in the movie. Tessa Thompson's character Detroit, which is an awesome name by the way, makes herself vulnerable. She puts herself out there. She makes herself vulnerable and she strips down to just that. And she gives the people the means to exploit her. They don't have to do it, but it's part of the point she's making. She's like, if I do this, if I make myself vulnerable to you because you are people and I've told you can, you will.
Wow. Yeah.
You will throw the sheep's blood at me. You will throw cell phones and bullets at me because I've allowed you to, because I've said I've consented to the idea that I'm willing to put myself in this situation. And Cassius even goes, why would you subject yourself to this? And it's the same thing that happens to him at the party. Whenever he gets on stage and starts yelling, inward stuff, inward stuff, inward stuff. And they all start yelling it back at him. That's his version of the cell phones and bullets getting thrown at him, is a bunch of white people yelling inward at him, you know?
Okay.
Like,
I like that mirror. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
and
even think of that.
They cut to him straight after, just kind of sitting there thinking about the same question he asked her. Why would you expose yourself to that? Like, why would you let that happen? So yeah, like, while it is not subtle and there's so much that's just in your face, there's still a lot of really there's a lot of great layers to the movie, and it's a really, really compelling watch. And I think that, you know, it's an interesting one because I remember I saw this on campus at Mizzou when I was 18. They had like a Black Student Union screening, and it was a lot of fun. It was a room full of people. We all just sat down and watched this, and I had no idea what I was getting into. I'd heard about it for a couple months. Like, it's a good movie. Yeah, everybody should go see it. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what's when the Aquasapiens came out, I was like, hold the fucking phone, dude.
Whoa.
Him going to the jade door. That's an olive door. That is clearly the jade door. All the doors are like a different shade of green. What a fucking moron.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, I guess the colored door is a smart idea once you get a house this big, you know, so that you can tell people it is this door.
Sure.
But then when you get down to that, whenever you have an olive in a jade door, you have too many doors.
Across the hall from each other.
Yeah. There's too many doors. The house is too big. It is unnecessary. And which. It's crazy that the dude turned out to be who he is in real life. It's just kind of perfect because like this person seems so unreal, like Steve, like just the you know, he's like, no way that person could be a real human, you know. But it's like, no, like there are many of him out there, which is even scarier.
It's disturbing, man. Yeah, like and obviously it's heightened. And I appreciated the whenever Cassius does blow the whistle, I love that the world responds and is like, oh well, fuck yeah, drive that stock price up, that's a great idea, you know, like you know, like that's brutal, that's terrible. And Stephen Yeun delivers a line that I feel like is very, very poignant to the present moment, which is that whenever something's so big that you can't change it, you get used to it. I mean, that's like already kind of happening. We're almost 2 months, or barely over a month in to the current administration, and it feels like there's all sorts of stuff that we've just kind of gone, yep, you know, maybe I won't fly on a plane anytime soon. You know, like that
is insane. That it's about been a month, and that's all we've gotten. But man, no, yeah, it's. Oh, I don't know. I really love that mirror. I didn't think of it as a mirror from the art show to the party. But yeah, it feels like because she, Detroit even had a white voice whenever she put on her performance.
Yeah, her like British white voice. Yeah.
And it's like it's taking this like mental or kind of like attacks onto yourself, you know, like a psychological kind of degrading or something for a social benefit, you know. And what's the point of this social benefit? I think it's more clear on Cassius's side whenever he's just like, okay, well, I'll give the people what they want, and then obviously it's an all white crowd like chanting back to him. Like I don't know, that was one, just hilarious. Two, like you got to think at every concert ever how many white people are just absolutely
it's like oh my god, it's so uncomfortable at like every fucking concert I attend. It's like, oh my god, guys, have any ounce of decorum, fuck's sake. Another really poignant part of that is that Mr. Beep is actually, for the first time we can see, he's actually affected by something. Like it's right after that he goes upstairs and he talks to Cassius about it in his normal voice for the first time. And he says like, hey, I know. He's like, I fucking know, dude, but we do this so we can get higher. Like we do this so we can keep climbing the ladder, and he wants to talk to you, so let's do this shit, you know, like and
down the hall, take a left, down
Yeah,
two more
down
doors,
two more
three
doors
to
to
your
the
left.
right. It's
I was
a
like,
bright red door.
holy
It's a bright magenta
fuck,
door.
dude.
You'll see it. You'll know
Yeah,
it when you see it.
the line that this dude snorted, Steve Lift, just to introduce like him like before the party or whatever, I mean, it went on forever. I mean, that I was like, holy! There were so many things in here that was just small, little like what the I don't know, very just funny and like I don't know. I didn't think it would be this funny, or I didn't think I would be liking the comedy as much. I thought I would be liking the more revolutionary spirit, and I wanted more of that
No,
stuff.
dude,
But then
my favorite scene of the movie is whenever Cassius shows up to Scab and his best friend and him get in each other's face, and he's like, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a great week. I hope your month is full of successful days. Yeah, like that whole, you smell good. You smell good too. What is that? What is that? It's cologne. It's just deodorant. It's just deodorant. Well, goddamn, maybe we go get some drinks after this,
I hope you have a good day. Oh yeah, I hope your week is great.
I hope your month is full of successful days. It's just like, dude, I love it. I love it. It's so. And then Danny Glover being like, all right, split it up, walk away. Yeah. It's so funny. Everyone's kind of watching like, what is this?
Yeah, like what the fuck is going on? Yeah, I don't know. That is Danny Glover. I don't know. I feel like I was trying to think. I know he's in Saw. I'm thinking if that's what I feels like I know him from something else that's bugging the crap out of me, and I haven't found it on his page yet.
He was in the Lethal Weapon movies.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've seen those.
He's the classic, I'm getting too old for this shit. That's him. He actually also says that line in this movie when they're talking about dancing. Now you gotta bend your arms back and, dislocate your shoulder, and he's like, why don't you go there? He's like, I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah, I don't know, he's the one who coming in, teaching Cassius his lesson, he's like, laughing at him after he gets off the phone and just being like, okay, let me tell you, he's in the Royal Tenenbaums. Was that?
Yeah, yes, he's Angelica
Henry
Houston's
Sherman?
new husband. After Gene Hackman.
I wonder if I don't think that was it. But that was just cool to see. But no, Predator 2? Was he in the OG Predator? No. Okay. Yeah.
No, I don't
know. I think it might just be Saw, because I think he's like the main detective guy that goes after Jigsaw. I'm
Predator
sure.
2 slaps though. If you haven't watched Predator 2,
I don't think
you
I've
should.
seen the second one.
Yeah, it's like based in Los Angeles in the 90s. Like the first one's in the jungle, the second one's in the concrete jungle. It's sick. I love it.
Yeah. But I guess all of that was to say, it was nice to like Danny Glover was just nice to kind of see just in the background and have every now and then, and like Terry Crews was just cool, popping up like, yeah. I'm your uncle, man, then, or like at the beginning,
you just hoard all the money and you keep it for you and your family, and you keep it away from us, and you send the rest of us to work. Cassius, I am your uncle. Yeah. He's like, I gave you that car. He's like, and it's a bucket, man. Well, then give it back. No. I love that. I love the actual voices for the white voices. Lakeith Stanfield's is David Cross, who I absolutely love. David Cross is hysterical. He was in Arrested Development. He was in, I'm trying to think of something that I know you would have.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yes.
100%. That's what I see. That's the only thing I see him as, because it's ingrained into my brain. But I feel like I know him from much more. Like
he's been in all sorts of shit, man. He's popped up in a ton of stuff. But he's fucking hysterical. So him popping up as the white voice for Cassius is great. Patton Oswalt is Mr. Beep's white voice.
Okay.
But
what? Oh, okay. No, He's the Penguin in the Comedy Central. Someone that I need to get. I don't know. I feel these Batman shorts, not Comedy Central. College humor.
College humor.
Yes, these Batman college humor shorts. Whoever plays the Penguin, I think. Oh my God, it's been I just need to get.
It's so funny that's where you would know Patton Oswalt from.
And it is Patton Oswalt. Wow, which is hilarious. Is
He's
that
been in
really
so
the
much
only...
stuff. The
Yeah.
fact that you would know him from the Batman
What the
shorts
fuck?
on College Humor is so funny.
I feel I'm wondering if there is anything else like that. A real thing like he's in the Eternals. Pip the Troll. Pip
Yeah,
the
in the post credits that introduces Harry Styles.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm like, huh? What part of the movie did I? BoJack Horseman? Oh, he's a couple voices in there. That's
Yeah,
cool.
he voices a few
Oh, didn't think
characters.
of BoJack. You know, another horse thing that deals with
Yeah, there
a
you
very
go.
hard-hitting topic such
Very
as
much so an
depression, but is
Equisapien there.
yeah, uh-huh, yeah, and I don't know. The more like it is horses, but it makes it feel more like human. I don't know, or not. There's barely any humans in that show, and it's one of the most human feeling shows there is. I feel
Mhm.
like kind of a I don't know, yeah, a thing to satire or comedy is like whenever we can laugh about something, it is either truly that it is like just that funny or unexpected, or it's like it is like we're all in this collective suffering, and it's like better to
Yeah.
laugh about it than to cry about it. And it's
Cry
like,
about it. Yeah.
but yeah, and maybe that is like kind of what they like. You just get dulled to it, or I forgot the line. You said the line earlier about like whenever things grow
Get used
to
to it.
yeah, you know, you just get used to it, and maybe that we shouldn't be laughing at these things. I don't know. Maybe it's bad to laugh at them, but
I don't think it's a bad
yeah,
thing because I think that it's a fresh way to look at them. It's preventing you from being numb to them. You know, if you are laughing at it, at least it's making you
yeah.
confront it. You know, it's not like you're just you're not feeling anything about it. It just is. You know, like you are looking at it in a different lens. But
It's like
yeah,
our
no, man,
political
it's
cartoons now, I guess. So we just have more complicated political cartoons. They've and because I don't know, I was just trying to think of before TV, before I guess movies. I guess were I don't know, you could go to the theater, but even I don't know, whenever things were just really people got things on the radio or newspaper and stuff. Like you had like a comic strip, or you had like a like you'd listen to the radio maybe, I don't know, and how much comedy or satire and stuff do you really have? And like that's like is comedy like, or maybe it's just me and my new age brain, but like I feel like it has always existed, but like is there been like just a rise in it because of just how easily media is consumed and like how many different branches there are? I don't
I
feel
think that a sense of humor has evolved. You know, I think that comedy is always persisted. You know, like there are things that you know you read like a joke from the early 1900s and you go, what the fuck? You know, like you go, that's not funny. You know, but it was funny. It was
was
funny.
at the
So I
time.
think
Yeah.
exactly. So I think that comedy more than anything else is you know, like it's what always pisses me off about people being like, you can't be funny anymore, you know, like comedy's dying because of the woke. Like, shut the fuck up. There are
Yeah.
still so many people who are so funny working, even not working within those parameters. One of my favorite comics alive is a guy named Anthony Jeselnik, and he is famous.
yes.
Dude, I love that guy. He is so fucking funny. And if there is anybody who is obviously not doing things proper, and that's what's cool is that like he actually quoted Andy Warhol in an interview recently. I mean, recently, it was within the last several months, but he like comedy is an art, and the quote from Andy Warhol is, "Art is getting away with it." You know, if you tell a joke and you get backlash, you didn't get away with it. You know, you weren't good enough at it. You know, like you weren't good enough at comedy in order to tell that joke, so you shouldn't have told that joke. You know, like it's knowing your line, knowing what your parameters are, and understanding your audience, understanding that, and you know. The way that he tells jokes is really fun because you can tell he's a character, you know, like you can tell he's entering a mode where he is like the most sadistic fuck alive. Like that is the character he plays on stage is like, what if I was evil? Like, what if I liked watching, what if I hated kids and wanted to see them die? You know, like that's like his bag.
holding a
And so
baby. This thought that
yeah,
he has is to drop
yeah.
it. That's only what he wants to. Yeah, it's
What if I just drop this baby?
But
Yeah, you know. But
yeah.
like so, I think that the way that comedy evolves, it constantly evolves, you know. And there's going to be plenty of jokes that age poorly. Jokes have aged poorly for generations, you know. But like, I don't know. There's something cool about making timeless comedy. Now, it would be really, really nice if this aged out.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
guess,
if this aged out of being funny,
2018.
that would be great.
Yeah, no, it's still hitting just the same. Yeah,
Yeah.
Has
Arguably,
not changed.
it's getting worse.
More. Yeah. I said that. I said this to you yesterday that this should be required viewing for everyone in America. Is there another a John David Washington? Is it the Black Klansman? I feel like I don't know if it, but like another white voice on the phone movie. I swear that there was like a trailer that I saw that I thought that it was this movie, but it wasn't. I'm like, I thought that was John David Washington, where he was on the phone. I don't know, and kind of had to put on a persona. But I've never seen Black Klansman.
I've never seen Black Klansman either. But if I recall correctly, the premise is that John David Washington is a agent of some sort, whether it's FBI, CIA, something. And he infiltrates the KKK by way of Adam Driver. Like Adam Driver infiltrates it for him, and he reports back to John David Washington, if I recall correctly. And that's if my understanding is accurate. I've never seen the movie, but I'm pretty sure that does sound like it's something you could have seen in the Black Klansman trailer, because he does have to talk on the phone with members of the KKK and shit like that. But
okay, yeah, a lot more, definitely way more serious and more.
That's probably the one that you're a little bit more. You know, you're gonna lock in on the drama side of things a little bit.
Yeah, but here, no, I don't know. You got. I thought there were actually it could have, I don't know, maybe looked a little, you know, comparing just to the other movies in this month. I was wondering, you know, I don't know. There were some things that did look really cool, but it was more of like not just shots that looked great, but like decisions that they made that were just really cool. And I loved like just very visual storytelling. Whenever he's in the office and actually like being transported into everyone's room, you know, instead of just, you know, maybe split screening it and showing each side of the call, he's actually there. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, whenever it rumbles and he's like, "What the fuck?" Yeah,
and then it's just normal from then on out. I guess like after the first one was like, well, all right, this is just what it is. But then whenever like things were going well for him and he started making more money and then he got his new apartment, like whenever it like had that slow transition from his like garage room to the new apartment, and it was like this stop motion, but I don't know what it was. Like I don't know. It was just really cool. And if that is one shot, I feel like it is many pictures just being taken. But like a stop, I don't know. It kind of did. I feel like
there's
stop
a
motion
gorgeous shot. Oh yeah, that was sick. I loved that sequence. And there's a shot in his new apartment that is probably my favorite to just look at, and it's when he's sleeping alone on his bed after Tessa Thompson has left him. And like the lights from the headlights on the street are like passing on his ceiling.
Boom, boom,
gorgeous,
boom, boom,
gorgeous
boom.
image.
Yeah, and like yeah,
but yeah, you were talking about the choices, and one of the interesting choices is, and I don't know if this is just, you know, making do with what you have the ability to, or what, the amount of green screen in this film is funny. There's a like the entire upstairs office is like not real. It's like not there.
Really? Yeah, I guess.
Well, there's
that is kind of a grand building. Yeah, like
and not in every shot. Like there is some shots where you can tell it's a real set, but like whenever there's a sequence where Lakeith Stanfield is staying late and he's supposed to go pick up Tessa Thompson, and he's like reading the handbook and he's walking back and forth, and he's like he like stretches and stuff, and he's very clearly not in a real environment. Like if you watch like his hair specifically move, there's like that weird drag that comes with being in front of a green screen. And the same thing happens like whenever he gets on the phone with the with the businessman who's on the toilet.
Mm,
Like
yeah.
they're not in the same room together. Like that's not even they didn't even do that set. Like they are
Mm-hmm.
photoshopped into the same or composited into the same shot together. But it
Yeah,
still
his
looks good,
hair.
but it is fake.
Yeah, I
It's
don't know. His
good.
hair is definitely a green screen nightmare. I feel like just all so many
Right.
little juts and I don't know, kind of. There's not a defined line. Yeah, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of yeah, but I didn't. Now that like
Hair in
whenever they,
general like if you're not bald, you're gonna give
mm,
a green screen a tough time. You know.
yep, everyone in movies you just got to go bald now. It's
Yep.
just we'll add it in post. We'll give you hair later on. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Yeah, but no the
Well, and that's what makes me think it might be just a choice. Like it might have been like the
mm,
artificiality of everything. It kind of
ooh,
adds to it. And that's why like I think
okay.
that there is a degree of making do with what you've got, but like then steering it to your advantage in a way in that regard. Like just emphasizing how unreal everything is at
Hmm.
that level. Everyone's being phony, and yeah, it's good. It's not the real Cassius, and he's not in a real environment. I don't know. I dig it.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, like the white voice, I feel like it's at least the I don't notice it as much being me, obviously, because I do speak in my white voice 24/7. But I think
Yeah.
even me being white, I think there is a difference. Like I do have a professional tone that I put on whenever I'm
Mm.
supposed to, or like whenever I'm I don't know talking to a professor or like a just anyone who's older than me. Usually, like yeah, I definitely don't talk like I'm talking right now. I feel like I
Right.
put on a different kind of voice. But the whole race thing to is a whole different card that I definitely don't have any experience in. But
Yeah. Code
the
switching. Yeah.
but the it I don't think like I've always wondered this that like if we just got rid of professional speak and just spoke to people how we wanted to clearly like and just no fronts whatsoever, would business improve or would it be like disaster? Like would it actually be bad? And I just like to send an email to someone, I feel like it takes more time to act professional. And the other person on the end of the line is acting because whenever they get off work, they're going to go and just be themselves and
Yeah.
and it's like everyone knows that the act is
Yeah.
being
It's a
put on.
guise of professionalism.
Yeah. And
Like
it's like,
very few
th-
people are just like
mhm.
that.
Yeah, and if you are, I don't know. I'd say like if you are just professional in your day-to-day life, I'm not gonna say it's immediately bad or whatever, but it would seem like
No.
you would be
No.
a little more on the boring side, if
No,
like
you
if you are,
become like that's what happens to Cassius, you know, like he starts speaking in his white voice and he doesn't even realize he's doing it. And
mm,
she's like, that's a problem,
mm-hmm,
right? Like
yeah,
you are becoming the persona you put on at work, like it's not an ideal situation,
mm,
like and you'll find that whenever I imagine when it comes to business, you get more done whenever you can be honest with somebody,
mm,
and whenever you can be
mm-hmm,
yourself with somebody.
yeah,
But like I don't know. I just I do think that there's something to the idea that we would get more. It would probably be proper to just be who you are and fuck it. Like
mm-hmm,
working in the service industry, I have a customer service voice.
mm-hmm,
I don't
yep,
I don't know I don't really realize it. I didn't realize it until
mm-hmm,
I was on the phone one day and somebody I work with was observing me and was like, "What
mm-hmm,
the fuck?" That like I got off
mm.
the phone, they're like, "What was that?" I'm like, I don't know what you mean, and they're like, "The way you talk on the phone, like it's
Mm-hmm,
not what you sound like." I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
yeah.
But
There's something there. There is this weird like severance work mode that I feel like
mm-hmm,
people enter, but we don't have it. But we don't actually we remember every part of it. We don't
mm-hmm.
wake up when work is over, and it is this. I don't know. I like. Is it just capitalism, or if we did, is this just human nature? Is this just we want the social benefit? Like is that really what we're after? Is like just the money is people is the immediate goal to pay for food and housing and whatever you need, but then is it just to make yourself more socially acceptable because you have that money and like what's the
That's
true
part of
root
it.
goal
Yeah.
is
Yeah, and I don't know that there's a Well, and if you want to talk about a root, like the root that they call, like the fact that they call it a white voice at all, and then Danny Glover explains
Yeah.
that it doesn't really mean white, but the way that they're summing it up is white.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Yeah.
the fundamental root of it, is that like we're ingrained in a culture that has bolstered white supremacy, so whenever like when we were younger, and it's awful looking back on it, but like I don't remember how many kids I knew coming up who got told they talk white.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awful. That's an awful fucking thing to say.
Yeah.
Like and looking back, I remember all sorts of kids who got
That
told
was
that.
very real.
And
Yeah.
Danny Glover
100%.
explains it, I'm not talking Will Smith white. I'm not talking that's just talking proper. Like
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's
like
you got to talk like you have everything figured out. You have to talk
like
like
there's not a
you.
problem in the world. There's that like
Yeah.
you got a car that you don't need to make the sale. You don't have any you have privilege is ultimately what he's saying. Like
Yeah.
you've just got it figured out. Like there's nothing that can bother you. You're on the phone and it's like I'm here to help you because I've literally got nothing else to do. Like I'm set. And I think that is the root, but yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal. But and that's why like it is just really disappointing to like put that into context. Because that's real shit. That is real shit.
I would like to think that if we just all hopped off, got on a new planet, started anew, I would hope that we wouldn't reach the same situation that we're in right now. I think obviously at first there'd be a survival period where we have to do what we got to do, but then once we're settled and like completely new, if we could start anew, would we arrive at the same thing? I don't know. I sure would hope not. But this, I don't. It feels like the more like it was obviously very anti-capitalist, and I think that is very clear. And I got that. I don't know. Very, and I liked that out of the movie. But I was also thinking of how much of this is like human nature, versus like the just not the economy or government politics sort of side of
Right.
it, and the I don't know, this horse, being horses and workhorse, everything. There was a reading that was given to me. I guess I don't know, by my therapist actually, and she was like, I think this reading would actually be very good for you, and it was the horse versus the mule mindset, and just kind of like a horse will work itself to death. It doesn't know the different. It just wants to put in the work, even if it knows it'll kind of be at its detriment. Versus the
Right.
mule, who will stop and will just do the work that it knows it can do, and then it's like, nope, I'm in it for the long haul, and I'm not worried about anyone's opinion, sort of thing. If I stop, and the I guess the thing to take out of it was that a farmer, far prefers a mule, for the long term investment rather than a horse. I guess in this hypothetical situation, for
Right.
a horse just working itself to death and then having to buy a new horse and whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like even though that they're making these advanced humans to work better, it's like, well, will you have to? I guess, yeah, I don't know. They are already just real people that have to snort a line. So it's not like they're really making them or manufacturing them, but it's like the investment isn't actually that good. I feel like, it's like
Right.
even if we were coked up to the point where we are perfect workers, is that truly what matters? Or is it more just like actually if you're doing something that you feel is actually contributing to social good, is that all you need? Like, is that
Mm.
that's, I feel like, more motivation than money or like
100%.
anything else. And
100%. And it
um
is for some people, and then you do
mhm.
have the Steve Lifts who are like that have been bred in a
Mm,
capitalist system that understand that the way to get to the top is to make the most money and do whatever you need to make the most money,
mhm. Yeah.
and I think that what this movie begins to confront, and maybe it does in a much more subtle way than just the capitalism is exploitation, is we get a lot of themes of slavery, obviously, with the worry-free situation. And I think it just
Mm-hmm.
kind of intertwines how the root of so many problems is capitalism. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like the
Constant
reason
competition.
we
Yeah,
had
it's like,
slavery in the first place,
mm,
you
mm,
know, was for profit. It was so that we
yeah,
didn't have to pay workers, and that's because
yeah,
they were black people. American systems evolved to the point where
mm-hmm,
white supremacy was just kind of baked in, because we had these people who weren't viewed as people, and they were all black. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
So now every single institution is built on that foundationally. You know,
mm-hmm.
um,
And it's just sad because like profit, it does seem like progress, or like it does seem like a benefit, or like a good the trend is up, so it must be good, right? And I feel like I always come back to the client being measure the empire on any standard, and it's
yeah,
fucking we're the best, whatever. And it's like, well, really, like for you, sure, up on the top there, and might be good for you there, but for the greater good, I'd say, yeah, no, no, not at all. And it is a weird, it's like this problem that it does feel so insurmountable that it's like, well, I guess I have to just be the workhorse until I break free and have enough
mm,
money. And it's like, but no, like I don't know, like it'd be so much cooler if like if just I don't know, I'm just going through history class, and people just used to have like their one thing that they were good. You were a basket weaver. You just made baskets for the
mm-hmm.
town because you were just the goat at it, or you made
Yeah,
necklaces, or I don't know. You just and people knew you as that person. And they, if you needed a basket, you went to Basket Lady. If you needed a pot,
right.
for or I don't know. And I just think it I would like to transport myself back in time, but then also it's like, no, I do enjoy a lot of the nice amenities and stuff I have now, and
No,
it's
that's
always
why,
this back and forth. But
one of the new job I'm about to get, um,
mm-hmm,
we're gonna do tip sharing at 100%. Like, not
mm,
just the wait staff. Every single person working in the restaurant is tip
wow,
sharing. Not including the GM and owners who are salaried or own the joint.
okay, fair,
But the people in the
fair,
kitchen, the people who are
yeah,
washing dishes, the people who are cleaning, everybody tip shares. And when they told me that, they were like, "I know, a little socialist of us." And I'm like, you don't have to sell me, you don't have to sell me harder here. That's awesome. Like it's completely
uh-huh,
fair, and it motivates everybody to work
mm-hmm,
towards the common good,
yeah,
which is helping our customers. It's helping ourselves. The more that
mm-hmm,
it doesn't create any competition. It means that we are all on the same page. It's a great idea.
mm.
And that was just funny. She was like, "I know, a little socialist of us." I'm like, "Babe, you are talking to
Yeah.
a socialist.
Hey,
It's
yeah.
okay."
Hey, I'm glad. Yeah, I don't know that I
Yeah,
just
that's always. I'm
if I
like,
could
there's
watch
obviously,
that from an outside perspective, that would just be that's funny. That's
yeah,
hilarious. Like
like
just
talking to
knowing
me
you.
and being
Yeah.
like, "I know,
Uh-huh.
a little socialist of us," and
Don't worry.
I forget often that that's not a
Mm-hmm. A normal.
commonly
Yeah.
held belief. So
Mm-hmm.
like, I just kind of go, like, I was like, like I kind of had to let it slide. I kind of had to be.
Mm-hmm.
I almost said that, like, "Hey, you ain't gotta justify that to me," But
Yeah. Hey,
yeah,
anything for
but
the cause. You should have just like
anything,
for the
yeah,
cause, or I don't know, just like
for the cause,
I feel
for the
I've
people.
wanted to say that, like I don't know, the like Oppenheimer, just like this, like if you wanted to be a communist or whatever, you did have to meet in private. I feel like nowadays
Mm,
it's not really that way. There's not really witch hunts or anything going on where you need to have secret
not
meetings,
yet.
whatever. But
Yeah.
man, it'd be so cool if there was this secret group of just socialists or
If we
something
had
that
to
and just
we had to refer
hmm
to each other as fellow travelers and stuff,
yes.
so that it was some sort of code. Yeah, like that'd be gnarly. But yeah, no, I love this movie, and I have for, I mean, shit, going on 7 years now, 6.5 anyway,
Damn,
and
that's crazy.
yeah, it's crazy to think about
Man.
2018 being that long ago, man.
Oh
It fucks me up. Like, that's when we graduated high school, dog. Fuck that.
no.
Um,
Oh no. Okay.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm good, bro. But
Uh,
yeah,
State of the world.
it's
Yeah, it's like I don't know. Only gotten this movie only makes more sense, which is
yeah.
yeah.
Brutal.
which is
Brutalizing.
sad.
A lot of it was, I mean, not a lot of it was theory. A lot of it was like, damn, yeah. Now it's like, damn, yeah. I don't know. Like, it's just like emphasized a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
my fresh out of high school brain wasn't quite. I don't know. Like at one in high school, I was fully into capitalism. I thought like, yeah, no, what better system could there be? It's competition. It makes money. And,
breeds innovation.
What's better than making money? And so I mean,
yeah,
hey,
and I believe it bred innovation if every company didn't make a different version of the same shit. You know,
constantly
like,
trying to backstab each other, constantly trying to be the, I don't know. Yeah, it's this. In theory it works really well, but in practice, I love,
it's a great idea. You know, if we established perfect ethics and everybody was honorable and everybody did the exact right thing, capitalism could work. But we're humans and things happen, you know?
Wow, I guess capitalism is in that perfect world good, but in capitalist in just its own nature breeds like backstabbing and
yes, it does.
And this nature, but yeah, like socialism is kind of like a self-check, kind of like keeping everyone in balance of like, hey, like don't do that. Like that's not what we do.
Yeah,
here,
and actually, like you were making the point earlier about how like in theory, like more is better. And in theory, yeah, but circulation's better. You know, like if everybody has access to the money, everybody has the means to create the life they want and establish that life. Like that is what creates a positive society. Not these people at the top keep getting richer and the people at the bottom just keep making the same amount. I don't know. It's a little bit flawed, but. More than a little bit, but yeah. So that's why I wanted to spotlight this one a little bit. I think it's an important one.
It was in here. This one a very nice. I don't know, a way to end it in the month. I feel. I don't know. Almost Rainbow was kind of the one that was like the most blind spot out of me. Ended up liking it, but this one was. I did say to you last night that it was 2 out of the month, other than, Nope is Nope. It's going to be hard to beat that one for me. But I did say like immediately, yes, this is 2. And now that I've sat with it, I wonder if it was just that first viewing, because upon a rewatch of this, like not having those surprises and being taken down kind of the roller coaster, I wonder how it hits. I still think it's definitely more rewatchable.
It's still a super fun. It's still a super fun time, like it is it's a great time. But yeah, those like what the fucks are much fewer and far in between, obviously, as you know what's coming. But yeah, it's definitely a great first watch, and the rewatches. I mean, like this was my 3rd or 4th viewing, I think, and it's still incredible. It's still incredible. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Sorry to Bother You, but we'll go ahead and rate this movie. But before we do, I'm gonna do a couple plugs. And we are in the end. This is the last week. For the Cinementalists giveaway. The winner will be revealed on March 3rd, the day after the Oscars, which are on Sunday. So, the Cinementalists giveaway. Last chance. Go ahead and enter. You can look on Blue Sky at Colton Robertson for all the details, but I'll go ahead and lay them out here also. Subscribe on YouTube. Download at least one episode wherever you get your podcast. If you don't have the means to do either of those things, one of the other, just hit me up. We can discuss. I can work something out. I've already got a few people who entered the giveaway that way, so it's no big deal. There are caveats to give you additional entries, which are liking and reposting that post on Blue Sky. You can respond to it and tag somebody on Blue Sky. You can, and every other episode you download is an additional entry. We've got like 40-something episodes. You could have 40-something entries, and some people do. So they are very likely to win this thing if you want to give them a run for their money and get a chance to win a Certain Women Criterion Blu-ray or a Paris is Burning Criterion Blu-ray. You got to go ahead and do those things. You also have a chance to win a Letterboxd patron membership. So we got all those things. Like I said, go to Blue Sky at Colton Robertson. It's my pinned post. You can check it out. We'll be good there. But yeah, that comes to an end on March 3rd, so only a couple days left. We've got a few other things going on right now. We are also doing Fire Pod with me, which just started, a Twin Peaks podcast. Just last Monday, we kicked that off on February 24th. and for Twin Peaks viewers, you'll know that's a significant date.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be every Monday. So next Monday, we will not only have a special episode of the Cinementalists talking about the Oscars and revealing the winners of the giveaway, we will also have episode 2 of Fire Pod with me, a Twin Peaks podcast. So if you are a Twin Peaks fan, go ahead and check that out. If you're not, you should watch Twin Peaks.
Yes.
The podcast is friendly to the rewatcher and the first-time watcher alike, as I am rewatching it and Joe is watching it for the first time. So, if you've never dug into Twin Peaks, there's not a better time because you'll be able to take your time, soak everything in, and listen to us talk about it week by week. You won't forget a thing. So, Twin Peaks, Fire Pod with me every Monday, and the Cinementalists will continue being back every Friday, and a special episode next Monday. So, let's talk rating. How are we feeling about Sorry to Bother You?
Yes. And with me saying it was immediate too, I'm backpedaling on that because this isn't. I don't think this is in the 9 category, which I would put Nope and Beale Street easily in. Yeah, they just are. They're in there, and so I think this is. It's in the 8s. I feel like, or in that range, or a high 7, if it does go down that low. But I feel like as far as the social commentary goes, it was funny. I like everyone who's in here. I think it's good enough for me to put it in that 8, but I think it kind of flat was kind of where I was heading or feeling right.
Gotcha. Yeah, I would elevate it a little bit, so I think we'll split the difference here. I'm gonna go 8.5. Which would bring it to an 8.25 average. I have a soft spot for it. Like I said, I watched it for the first time in a great environment, and I've got a special memory with it. I saw it with Kelsey, who's one of my best friends in the world. So like it's just a good time for me. So yeah, Sorry to Bother You is the shit. Yeah. So comes to an 8.25 on the old Cinementalometer. And
I love that every time.
I do too. I'm getting better at saying it too, Cinementalometer, and it's satisfying. It's satisfying, but
I'll probably never be Cinementalometer. Yeah, Cinementalometer. Yeah, no, I can't. No, there's some just can't do it. I don't know, can't do it.
But that's good. That's good. But we are going to be back next week. So very, very excited. Like I said, special episode on Monday talking about the results of the Oscars. We got that coming for you. And then next Friday, we kick off Sci-Fi Month. March is going to be a sci-fi themed month. Joe's birthday is in the month of March, so we kind of gave him full reign over the theme, and science fiction came to the forefront. We've got on the docket March 7th, AI, Artificial Intelligence, directed by Steven Spielberg. On March 14th, Pacific Rim, directed by Guillermo del Toro. Then we got our special St. Patrick's Day episode, which is going to be Sunshine, directed by Danny Boyle. And the reason we are doing that for St. Patrick's Day is because it's led by Cillian Murphy, one of our favorite Irishmen. On Joe's birthday, the 21st, we are going to be discussing Tron, the original Tron, 1982. Very, very excited for that. And we are going to be wrapping the month up on a secret option, I guess. I don't think we've established that hardcore yet. So we will finish the month on something good. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, so keep coming back. Leave a 5-star rate and review and download wherever you might be listening. We would appreciate it greatly. But yeah, I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And I hope your month is full of successful days.